more and more people are leaving Canada. All the websites are referring to the same report: record spike in number of immigrants leaving Canada. Then another one here: higher number of immigrants choose to leave Canada. Bloomberg report here on as well: immigrants are leaving Canada at a faster pace. Now, when I'm saying more people are leaving Canada, it is not in hundreds and thousands, mind you. The number of people wanting to come to Canada or who are coming to Canada is much higher than the number of people who are leaving. But between the year-on-year data, right? For example, in the year 2000, 2002, the number of people who would leave Canada after becoming permanent residents, then the data point at 2010, then the data point in 2016, then the data point in 2018, and now 2020. Those data points are indicating an increase, year-on-year increase in the number of immigrants who leave Canada. For Canada, that's a huge concern, right? The whole point of this immigration programs is that people should come to Canada and they should make Canada their home. They wouldn't want to leave Canada because that is how they will continue to contribute to the Canadian economy, Canadian tax bucket, the job market, the society at large. So what is the reason that people are leaving? Two institutions, Institute of Canadian Citizenship and Conference Board of Canada, published a report which indicates that this number is now a huge concern, because after all the efforts that the government makes in inviting candidates, in conducting all these programs for immigration, if people actually then choose to leave Canada, it's again a negative factor, right? It doesn't really help overall in the big scheme of things. Now, that is besides the point that every time somebody wants to leave, there's a long queue of people who want to come to Canada, but still defeats the purpose. So they've realized that so after becoming a permanent resident in Canada, after 4 years to between the period of from 4 to 8 years, that is when majority of them chose to left. The last number said that about 65,000 people left in 1 year. Now, the actual report, which was presented by Conference Board of Canada, it's called the Leaky Bucket, Study of Immigrant Retention Trends in Canada. That is explaining what exactly is happening and obviously the data points with regards to this leakage. But in most cases, or rather, the transition of actually leaving Canada and going or migrating to a different country, and a lot of people would basically already know that US has been another country where a lot of people want to live. But with their immigration programs and the restrictions, or I wouldn't say restriction, but the lengthy green card processing, it's almost difficult for most people to get through there. So Canada offers a kind of a springboard. So you come to Canada, become a citizen, and then the chances for you to get to the US so much far easier. And therefore, a lot of people tend to springboard into the US. But not only that, there are a lot of countries in Europe where a lot of people then choose to go to. This is how it is, right? Anybody who leaves their own home country, for example, you're coming from India, you're coming from Pakistan, you're coming from Jamaica, you're coming from any part of the Africa, until and unless you are coming from a background which is extremely in a situation, could be, God forbid, war, a destitute situation, civil unrest, really lack of economic resources. Now, if you're coming from that kind of a background and you come to Canada, of course, you don't want to leave Canada anytime soon. But if you're coming from a country, or if you're coming from a background which is economically stable, which is already offering you a lot of employment opportunities, which is already offering you a lot of growth opportunities, which is already offering you a lot of flexibility, a lot of comfort in terms of day-to-day living and convenience, then when you come to Canada, you actually find that you have gone back into your economic cycle of life. And therefore, a lot of those people struggle to manage from one day to another and over a period of time. And they could probably be the first ones to sort of return back. Some of them would return back as soon as within the first year of coming to Canada. And some of them would probably first wait to get their citizenship and then return back. Hey, because you've come to Canada, may as well get your citizenship, get your passport, and then, go back to doing whatever you were doing in life. Different people do it for different reasons. But yes, you say, right, roti, kapda, makan, food, your well-being and your housing, your employment opportunities, those are the main factors for any person to choose any place. I mean, within a country also, there is domestic migration, right? People will move from one part of the country to another, or a more popular or more urban center because of the opportunities. In the given circumstances, Canada is certainly leaking immigrants, and it is not able to retain immigrants at a certain level. And that is a huge issue. I'm not sure how is the government looking to tackle that, what they will be doing as we move forward. But in the near future, this is going to be a debatable talking point and something which would be brought up time and again. It has been a pleasure again, as usual, and we will see you again next week.